Bruh.
Why is this even a conversation? Oh, Game 7 of the 2016 NBA Finals and this play, right? Give me a second. Let me just adjust the light. There we go. Oh, what's this? Is that Curry's fourth quarter stats in the 2015 NBA Finals? Is that over 10 points per game in the fourth quarter? Game 5 in 2015, the series is tied 2-2. And the Warriors lose the lead with 8 minutes left. And this happened.
And Steve Kerr wants Harrison Barnes to be the guy catching the basketball off the rotation.
Curry steps back. Oh!
Gotta be solid.
Curry splits the defense, goes down the lane, left-handed back. Curry looking for that opening. Steps back. Crossover, fires away. Wow!
Curry scored the most points in a fourth quarter in NBA Finals history, while being double and triple teamed. He ended up with 17 points for the quarter on 71% from the field. Just look at these shots. Like, bro, what?
Dancing, tough shot. That's why he's the MVP.
And they still didn't give him Finals MVP after that? But that's a whole nother conversation. And maybe people would be more surprised about it if he hadn't just done that in Game 3. Even though the Warriors started down 17 points in the fourth quarter, Curry brought them back and scored 17 himself, including 5 3-pointers. It wasn't enough, but again, one of the greatest fourth quarter performances in NBA Finals history. It's wild how much people will downplay Curry in the playoffs, saying that he's a playoff choker or not a great playoff performer, and at the same time hype up the 73-9 win Warriors because it helps LeBron's case. Like, is Curry not a good player? Is he a great player? Is he not good in the playoffs? Great in the playoffs? Make up your mind. You know what? I'm here to help you understand why Stephen Curry is not a playoff choker. He's one of the greatest playoff performers of all time. What is up, dudes, dudettes, ballers, players? It's your boy MJ. Before y'all start saying, who doubt Curry? I didn't doubt Curry. Here are the receipts.
In the important playoff games, he's consistently been, in crunch time, a worse version of himself.
And don't get me started on Max Kellerman.
Of everyone on Golden State, open shot, fate of the universe on the line, or the Martians have the death beam pointed at Earth, you better hit it. I want Iguodala.
He crazy.
You're stupid.
Man has been on Curry's ass saying that he's a front runner, that he can't take the last shot. He's not clutch. He only plays when the odds are stacked in favor for him. This narrative has been pushed and pushed and pushed over and over again into our brains. And ain't no one got time for anything, man. You know how LeBron is always on the first page of every book?
Why are you running? Why are you running?
Well, he could actually be further if you use Blinkist, the sponsor of today's video. Blinkist takes the top non-fiction titles and puts them into 15-minute text and audio explainers called Blinks. You can dive into psychology, health, personal growth, 27 categories, and thousands of titles to choose from. Blinkist saves you time, and you can't get that back. I like Blinkist because in less than 15 minutes, I can work on bettering myself. Kobe has always been a role model for me, and I want to be the same animal, but a different beast.
But are you a different animal and the same beast?
What the f does that mean, Kobe Bryant?
So I listened to Atomic Habits by Jason Clear. Basically life hacks on how to build better habits and actually stick with them. All in 13 minutes. The first 100 people to click the link in the description will get unlimited access to Blinkist for 1 week. You'll also get 25% off the full membership if you want it, which you probably will. So go check out Blinkist because why not? The start of this season, people thought that Curry couldn't play because he didn't have other stars, so he couldn't really make shots. He wouldn't be Steph Curry that we know. And he led the league in scoring.
Into the front court. Draymond finds him another three. Got it! 62!
But I digress. Let's talk about the playoffs. Let's talk about how Curry doesn't have a Finals MVP despite averaging this in the 2015 NBA Finals, this in 2017, and this in 2018. How did he not get the 2015 Finals MVP? Man was the whole offense. Forget the Finals MVP. People started saying that he's not a playoff performer. So I'm going to be talking about Curry without Kevin Durant and with Kevin Durant. Let's just dismantle the whole Curry's only good as a frontrunner. Actually, just look at how many times KD was doubled in the 2018 NBA Finals. And now, look at Curry, man. KD was doubled 3 times. Curry was doubled over 40 times. Nothing against KD, but defenses weren't focusing on him the same way they're focusing on Curry, who was the nucleus of the offense. Without KD, Curry has some iconic playoff performances. What about Game 7 against Kevin Durant? People forget that the Warriors were down 3-1 against a Thunder team that was scary. That team was considered to be a championship team. And from the moment the Warriors went down 3-1, Stephen Curry averaged 32.7 points, 7.7 assists, and 7.3 rebounds on 47% from the field, 47% from 3, and 91% from the free throw line. Please understand just how ridiculous that is. Man was making almost half of his 3-pointers while shooting over 11 of them a game. That is more attempts per game than any other player this past season not named Stephen Curry. And he's shooting at a higher field goal percentage than any other player in that list. In elimination games in the playoffs, every elimination game, Stephen Curry showed up on efficiency that is just out of this world. But let's talk about Game 7.
Curry! 3 of 23 in Game 6.
Curry got it off. On time, Steph Curry. Curry, yes!
Curry was shooting it in their eye. The whole team was thrown at him and it didn't matter. This game was close throughout, only because Steph was making shot after shot after shot. He cooked KD.
From downtown. Nice move by Curry to the rim.
In the fourth quarter, he scored 7 straight points to finally put the distance between the Warriors and OKC. And then he kept them there. He dropped 36 points and 8 assists on 54% from the field and 58% from 3. Like, look at him. What shot wasn't he making? He was a plus 18. Curry just demoralizes teams in the playoffs. Look at Westbrook. But no one brings this up because Curry is a playoff choker. We all know Game 6 against the Rockets in 2019 without KD. KD goes down Game 5 and the Warriors pulled that out. And now we're on the road for Game 6 up 3-2. But this is still the same Rockets team that just took the Warriors with KD to 7 games. Now the Rockets are the favorites. So now the odds are stacked against Curry. And for the entire first half, Curry is scoreless. And then he scored 33 points in the second half. Oh, you didn't hear me. He scored 33 points in the second half, including multiple clutch plays.
Curry with Tucker right with him. Curry launches a 3. Puts it in again!
I mean, here the odds weren't even in his favor, but no, he's a playoff choker. Heck, what about that overtime game against Portland in 2016? The game that Curry came back from an MCL sprain, didn't even start. Yeah, he came off the bench. And the Warriors were down by 16 in the first half. Curry was like, alright, no worries. Then he proceeded to score 10 in the fourth quarter and 17 in overtime. 17 points in 5 minutes?
I am perplexed. What happened? Oh my God.
By far the best playoff overtime performance in NBA history. Just imagine saying this man is in clutch. 2 of the best fourth quarter performances of all time in overtime. That is insane. Honestly, the more I look into these game performances, series performances, and finals performances, the more mad I am that people are calling him a playoff choker and thinking he can't play in the playoffs. And these aren't even necessarily his best games. Like, I didn't mention the 47 against the Raptors without KD or Klay. No, these are just some of his clutch performances. This thread makes all the arguments for me. The biggest Pacers fan has all of Curry's playoff series performances with some context too, which is really important. There's a whole ass list of Curry's clutch playoff performances. What is brought up is Curry being 0 of 8 in go-ahead field goals in the last 20 seconds of playoff games. But what that doesn't take into account are shots like these in the last 5 minutes but the game close. When the game gets tense and when buckets are hard to come by, the pace slows down, teams are more on their defense. These are the plays that win games. Not necessarily the last 20 seconds, but just that fourth quarter and those last 5 minutes. There is a video of Curry hitting clutch playoff shots, and it's 15 minutes long. 15 minutes. What is unique about Curry as a superstar is him just being on the court, even without the ball, is enough to create nightmares for defenses. Combine that with his constant off-ball movement, because Curry literally does not stay still, and his conditioning. Even with him not shooting well, he is helping his team in a more useful way than just driving and kicking to a three-point shooter. Players like Kevin Durant, who is one of the greatest players of all time, were getting open lanes to dunk just because Curry was out there existing. Now for the 2016 NBA Finals, I made a video before talking about how Curry sprained MCL a few weeks before and how that wear and tear from the OKC series only made it worse. Especially on that last play where Curry didn't feel like he was quick enough to get by Kevin Love and then get a shot up quick before the help defense actually came. But forget that, whatever the reason, he didn't have a great finals, he was sub-average. But that can't overwrite all the other performances he's had, especially all the other finals performances he's had. It's not like he was playing just some random team. No, he was playing the LeBron, Kyrie, Kevin Love Cavs, which is one of the best teams in NBA history and far above all the other competition in the league at the time. We don't say that Kawhi is a playoff choker, even though he had 0 in the fourth quarter of a Game 7 and blew a 3-1 lead when the expectations were for them to wash the Nuggets and get to the Western Conference Finals. Actually, we don't really even give Kawhi shit for that.
Hey.
So why do we hate on Stephen Curry so much and say that he's a playoff choker or not really good in the playoffs? Even with KD, for the most part, Curry had better games in the finals. 37 points in an elimination game 4. He almost averaged a triple-double in the 2017 NBA Finals. Averaged more rebounds than Tristan Thompson.
To Iguodala.
Curry and the foul!
Curry's actually averaged more clutch playoff points than KD in every year they've been together. Steph has had a few bad games with KD, that's true, but never a bad series. He's only had great series. This narrative that Stephen Curry is a playoff choker couldn't be more off. Curry's actually had some of the greatest and best fourth quarters and overtimes in NBA playoff history and NBA Finals history. And he's the core of all the championship runs. Curry should have a Finals MVP for what he did in 2015. I mean, 2 of the greatest fourth quarters, averaging over 30 in the last 3 games. Come on, man. But people really get caught up on the fact that he doesn't have a Finals MVP, not actually looking at what he did during those Finals runs. So change the narrative. We can all respect greatness from different players. I can sit here and respect LeBron, Kobe, Curry, all at the same time for what they've done. So let's respect Stephen Curry in the playoffs and realize that he's put up some of the greatest playoff performances of all time. But what do you think? Where does Curry rank all time? Shout out to Hamza Nasser for being first. Thanks for the all-day support.
Shout out to Blinkist for sponsoring this video. They're gonna save you time, so go check the link in the description to get that unlimited access.
Also, subscribe. It's your boy MJ. We out and we vibing.
Got all the patience, so let's get high, let's get wasted.